Welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about Governor's proposed budget with one of the key players in finance in the state legislature, Senator Mark Leno, who is the chair of the Budget and Fiscal Review Committee. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for the invitation, Steve.
So you've started hearings already on the governor's budget, leading up to the what's called the May revise, as we take a second look at revenue and spending. The governor has called his budget solid and enduring. Would you agree with that?
I've been here 10 years now, and this is really the first time we have seen some light on the horizon as the nonpartisan Independent Legislative Analyst's Office has concurred that the governor's budget is without smoke and mirrors, that revenues do meet expenditures, and that we have a balanced budget. And the governor's out-year projections are that we could have some billions of dollars in surplus, or the opportunity to pay down what he calls a wall of debt, which still stands at about $28 billion. That means services already provided that have yet to be paid for. So we're not out of the woods completely yet, but going forward we won't be this year, unlike the past 5 years or so, having to make very serious, painful, dangerous cuts to the infrastructure of California.
I know most Democrats, perhaps all of them, are talking about, yes, we need fiscal restraint. And yet many of their constituents, many of your constituents, have suffered through severe budget cuts over the last several years. I mean, isn't there a great deal of pressure on you and on some of your members in your caucus to try to sort of backfill and increase some spending now that the money's coming in?
You are right. There has been significant dismantling of state services and infrastructure over the many years so that we could balance our budget and that we could still sell some notes on Wall Street to be able to continue our cash flow through some of the lower revenue months. And we've done that successfully, but real people are suffering real pain as a result. Seniors who can't get to a dentist and can't even chew their food and having health problems associated with something as small as what the federal government considers optional for Medi-Cal patients, that is dental services. So there is a lot of need out there, but we have to be honest, I think, and this is where I agree with the governor, this is a year for fiscal restraint. I'm hoping that as we continue to solidify our fiscal base, that in the year 2, 3 following, we will have additional revenue and we can begin to thoughtfully, slowly reinvest and rebuild that which we've taken apart in the most recent years.
January, the revenues were $4 billion greater than expected, which is obviously very good, but you don't see a push toward, as you call it, reinvestment yet.
I would doubt that it's going to happen this year, and we don't know exactly how much of that $4 billion will still be standing when we get to May. There could be been some accelerated profit taking as a result of the federal change in tax law that people were recognizing in December. So we don't know if a dollar taken in January is a dollar we would have otherwise gotten in April or May. But we're at about a $97 billion general fund budget this year. Last year we were at about $93 billion, which already included the $6 billion in the Prop 30 that was passed in November. And keep in mind that if we had grown just per inflation and population growth from our $100 billion budget in 2008, LAO says we would have been at 125 by now. So we have really contracted the overall size of our budget in recent years.
All right. Well, Senator Leno of San Francisco, chair of the Budget and Fiscal Review Committee, thanks very much for coming in and talking about the governor's budget and your efforts moving forward. We appreciate it. We'll have to have you back to talk some more as the budget becomes a little clearer.
I hope you will invite me back. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on My Government On Demand, also on YouTube.